but also for English. And siamo molto felici di ospitare questo campionato dei formaggi mondiale, perché è un concorso particolare, fantastico, che racconta moltissime storie. E quindi sono contentissima di condividere il palco con Nigel e con Charlie. Please.
Great. Okay, and this is my friend Charlie Turnbull, who knows a lot about cheese. Has had a cheese business in the UK for a long time, and it's a delight to have you with us again, Charlie.
It's a delight to be here, Nigel. Hello, Bergamo. You don't say that very often. It has been a complete pleasure today. We've had such a good time on the tables. The judges have done a fantastic job getting through the 3,804 cheeses, and the general vibe is there's a lot of very high quality cheese out there. A lot of golds coming through. Some of the competition to get that Super Gold trophy, the cheeses that they picked to get the 16 we're about to look at, was really tight, and we witnessed some of that, and nobody came to blows, but there was such enthusiasm and quite a lot of earnest disagreement as well.
There you go. Actually, just need to say he's a good lad, he's a nice guy, and he talks a lot.
I never talk
too much.
No.
Ovviamente avete sentito i numeri che ha detto Nigel prima, e i numeri raccontano molto di questa manifestazione. Speriamo anche noi che il vincitore sia in sala anche quest'anno. Chissà, vediamo. Lo scopriremo solo alla fine. Ok, we can go. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm born ready. Angela's ready. Charlie's ready. I'm ready. The world is ready on World Cheese TV.
Okay,
yeah,
we start.
Let's do it. Let's meet our super jury. First of all, from Spain, of course, it is Carmen Ortiz. Welcome.
Welcome. Ok, il secondo è Carlos Yescas.
Go Carlos!
From England, it's Pat McGuigan weighing in at about 12.5 stones. That's you, Patrick. Here we go.
Dagli Stati Uniti d'America, Katie Strange.
From Japan, here he is, Shigenobu Moriyama, known to us as Mr. Mew from here on the way in, and he's got his son, Moto Atesu, who's going to be translating.
E dall'Italia, Augusto Enrico Semprini.
From Canada, with a little bit of Greek heritage in him, he is, of course, Nick Churios. Here you go, Nick. Hi, welcome.
Oh. Dalla Danimarca, Katrin Vogel. Grandissima Katrin.
From South Africa, representing Woolworths and so much more, Susie O'Regan. Hooray!
Yeah. Dalla Gran Bretagna, Jason Hines.
Big bad Jason, here you come, Jason Hines, representing Great Britain.
Thank you so much.
From the USA, it is, of course, Kathleen Shannon Finn. Hi, Kathleen, welcome.
Hi.
Looking good, and to you, big kisses.
Dall'Italia, Alberto Marcomini.
Oh, Alberto, hi. And then the man in black for Johnny Cash of the cheese world, representing France and so much more. Roland Barthelemy, hey, bonjour Roland, comment allez-vous?
Bonjour. Dall'Australia, Claudia Bowman.
Claudia, there you go. Hey, from Australia. From Brazil, we have the mighty Bruna Cabral.
And the last one, dalla Svezia, Peter Martensson.
Hey, the Svej is in the house. There you go.
So, we start.
Okay, this is some of our highlights from this morning. What a great morning we've had. Here we go.
Prendono posto.
6 judges coming through right now. They are as excited as we are. They're going to taste cheeses they can't hear me. With ones they've never seen before.
Yes.
Things that are going to really excite their palates today. It's just extraordinary.
It is really an extended cheese family because as much as these producers are competing, everybody cares about their craft and everybody wants to share their craft. So I think that's really important for the industry.
We can talk over cheese, we speak the same languages, cheese language. That's fantastic, yeah.
I love this competition because it brings all the cheeses from the world in one room. So I feel like I've travelled the world without the jet lag.
You'll only get this at the World Cheese Awards.
Nowhere else.
How'd you coax a bear out of a tree? Come on, bear.
Well, there you go. You can see it was a fine morning, but now we're down to the serious stuff. We've whittled it down. We had 84 super golds out of all those tables, and then it was 16 of the cheeses for our super jury. It was 16 judges. Of each of them have championed one cheese each. Maybe you could just explain that, Angela, how it's worked with the super jury.
Sì, abbiamo 16 grandissimi giudici in questo momento che voi vedete intorno a questa tavola. Ciascuno di loro ha scelto, come sapete, un formaggio che arriverà, che è arrivato qui in finale. Quindi il gioco sarà anche capire dopo gli assaggi chi, perché, come, perché questo formaggio è stato promosso.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Mia moglie è siciliana, so
sì, lo so, sta facendo questo gioco dall'inizio, cioè sta provando a dirmi che lui capisce le donne italiane. In realtà
apologize for my such poor Italian.
There
you go. See, it's okay. I know.
I'm like your Sicilian wife. Okay, va bene.
Okay, here we go. Charlie, cheese number 1.
Vai.
Cheese number 1. Hang on a second.
Okay.
He is going.
Yeah, but someone will bring it to you, Charlie. I think we can work that way. But never mind. Here we go. I can tell you that this was championed by Nick Curios as well, who's going to be talking us about it. So just give us a little bit of a brief description. Stand up on the stage there, Charlie, so we can all see you. Tell us a bit about it.
Do you need help?
So we can't tell too much around it. What we're looking at is a sheep's milk cheese with a natural geotrichum rind for the nerds amongst us. We're going to get a little bit of breakdown underneath the skin. We're going to get a lactic center, but we know nothing about where this cheese is made, where it's come from, or indeed little more of it than it has made it this far, which means it's been picked out. Now, the cheeses like this often don't get this far because they don't have that powerful flavor of the Gruyere and the Gouda and that kind of thing, which means they have to try that a little bit harder to really get the judges' attention.
Goat's milk cheese?
I think it's sheep.
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, it's a goat.
It is a goat's milk cheese.
Charlie, why don't you just put that under the camera?
I will do.
So we can see it. So it's a goat's milk cheese.
Wow. Ok.
Yep.
Allora. Now they have to try, no?
Yeah, it's just saying it's a goat's milk cheese. I'm going to get Nick to talk about it, but yeah. Just tell him it's a goat's milk cheese.
Ok.
Okay, Nick. Tell us about your baby here.
So this was actually one of the last cheeses that I had tried on the Super Gold table. And at the time, I was actually having some small talk with Claudia, and I wasn't even realizing it, but when I was tasting this cheese, I couldn't stop eating it. And when I finally realized that I had almost eaten half of the small log that was in front of me, I knew that this was a winner. Just looking at it, you can see it's ripened to perfection. It's got some great citrus tones, a very mild yet aromatic flavor that's complex, and a smooth, creamy structure that just melts on your tongue. This, to me, is the perfect goat cheese and the best cheese that I've had all day.
Great, well done. Okay, well, all the judges have tasted. This year, we're judging out of 7, so it's a maximum of 7 points that we can give it this year. You want us talking to your microphone? Here you go. Yeah, use your microphone. Sorry, she's good at this. It's fine. She works on television a lot.
Possiamo avere un massimo di un punteggio di 7, giusto? Ok? È un formaggio non pastorizzato questo, tra l'altro, come ha spiegato Nick. E adesso they have to vote.
Sì, they have to go.
Sì, you speak Italian. You will speak Italian at the end of this day.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, judges, if you're all ready for our first cheese, this goat's milk cheese, will you please vote now? 5, 5, 6, 3, 5, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, 4, 4, 3, 7, 4.
So,
Kathy, that was a straight 7 for you. You liked that one. That tickled your American tonsils.
Hi, everyone. So proud to be in Italy, and thank you for the question. I thought the cheese had nice flavors. It had some vegetal overtones to it. I thought the finish was a little off, which impacted the balance, but great cheese. Congratulations on getting to this level, and really enjoyed that opportunity.
Yeah, I love this cheese. I thought it was great. Often the younger, softer, perhaps milder cheeses get a little bit lost amongst the 3,800 cheeses out there. So it's nice to see a really good example of this. I thought the rind on it was in immaculate condition, and if you consider it's had to travel a long way, that's really impressive. And I just thought there was a balance. There was some goaty animal notes, but there was also sweetness. You could taste the milk. I just thought it was a really delightful cheese.
Allora, entrambi hanno apprezzato soprattutto l'equilibrio di questo formaggio, anche se secondo alcuni, diciamo, verso la fine può perdersi. Giustamente, secondo me, Patrick sottolineava il problema del traveling, cioè del viaggio che questi formaggi compiono, e quindi in qualche modo può anche danneggiare o comunque alterare il sapore finale.
Great, excellent. Well, that's the first cheese, good one to start with. And we've tasted these in order from the mildest to the strongest, so it's important that our palates...
Sì, seguiremo anche nell'arrivo dei formaggi, diciamo, un passaggio dal più forte al più dolce, insomma una sorta di sequenza, giusto?
Sì.
Ok, sì, tu mi dici sì, ma...
Perfetto, grazie Angela.
Fantastico, cioè un colloquio bellissimo.
Charlie, cheese number 2.
Vai, Cam.
Today we've got a lovely looking. Why do I feel like I'm on one of those shopping channels? One of those a lovely looking goat's milk Gouda style. And I would stress again, just because we've got a Gouda style, we have no certainty at all that this is from anywhere near Holland, although it certainly could be. A little bit younger than maybe some cow's milk Goudas you would see. It's got a little bit of texture to it, but it's perfectly white with that wonderful white marbling that you get. We've got a little bit of a plastic rind on the outside, which Goudas use to keep the moisture in and allow the enzymes to break down those flavors, which we really need to see. But like all goat's milk cheeses, we would expect to see the flavors develop earlier than with cow's milk. So a cheese that with cow's milk might really get the flavors going at 12 to 18 months with a cow's milk Gouda. This you'd see to begin to peak between 7, 8, 9 months, so a bit younger, which is why you'll get that softer texture. But the flavors can really bloom. Now with Goudas, you're expected to see a washed curd, and with the wonderful sweet goat's milk, you'll get two different sweet flavors complementing each other here.
Okay. Thanks for that, Charlie. It won't all be as long as that introduction. I'm growing a beard here. You don't need to... We'll get him a bit quicker. That's what I'm just saying, Angela. It's okay. And Carmen Ortiz, this is the one, your baby, you championed this one. Tell us why.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but
no.
I chose the cheese. For me, was pretty interesting. The color, it was. I was talking before, white bound color. The cut was perfect, and also was having a long taste. It was the length was so interesting, and also I think it's well balanced, and representation of goat can finish as a goat. And as a Gouda and no cow Gouda. I don't know if you understand me. Okay, yes. Thank you. Sorry.
Questo è un formaggio, come avete capito, a pasta dura, è maturato per oltre 12 mesi. In questo caso è piaciuto soprattutto il sapore finale, diciamo, che è rimasto, diciamo, nella memoria, e anche la forma. Non a caso in questo evento parleremo anche di forme, cioè di come i formaggi si presentano, perché rappresentano un contenuto.
Great. I'm just going to get a piece as it goes past. Gilly's very generous with the pieces, so I'm. This is Gilly's stitch.
Di questa giornata io morirò. At the end of this day I will die. I will trying. I don't know a lot of.
It doesn't matter.
Sì, vai. Oh, fantastica donna, vai.
Sì, volevo dire altro che la forma. È la rappresentazione di questo formaggio che da solito di mucca, in questo caso la capra è per me una rappresentazione, quello che si può fare con un Gouda di capra, è quello che mi è piaciuto di più. Grazie mille, anche il colore.
Okay, grazie mille.
That's great. Any judges who... Yes.
In Italian, without you.
Any judges who want to speak Italian, I know quite a few of you do, then you're very welcome. Okay, it'll make my life a lot easier, and Angela can relax a bit. And yes, going to have an Aperol spritz later on, aren't we? Okay, judges, number 2, will you please vote now? 7, 3, 6, 5, 3, 6, 5, 7, 4, 3, 6.
I want to know why.
Yeah.
3.
Catherine, almost brilliant. Pretty good though.
Buongiorno, vorrei dire che sono molto felice di essere qua a Bergamo per essere presente per questo mondiale del formaggio. È un vero piacere di essere qua. I would like to say that I found very nice notes in this cheese. It was the sweetness and the taste is coming through. Even for such a young goat cheese, it's really a pleasure to find all these details in it. And I can only say almost there, but not quite, but it was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Grazie a tutti.
Grazie to you as well in both languages. Thank you. And Jason, over to you. What did you think?
Hello, Bergamo. I'm very happy to be here at the home of Gasparini. I thought it was a really, really well-constructed cheese. I thought the balance of it was excellent. I thought it was maybe not quite as long in the aftertaste as I would like it to, as I'm looking for in a great cheese. But I thought it was an incredibly accomplished cheese.
But Nigel,
excellent.
Do you want to know why, for example, one of them gave 3? Because we have 3.
Okay.
Do you want?
Or just one? Yeah.
I don't know.
So Nick gave it a 3. Here we go.
Yeah, the cheese structurally was very good. It had a nice press, and the texture was great. But for me, it really came down to flavor. Initially, it starts off well, but I just found that it fell a little short. I was expecting something with a longer, richer flavor, and for me, it just wasn't there.
Thank you.
Miserable bloody Canadian. There you go. Anyway, moving on. You don't need to translate that one. That's okay. I'm over here. He's a big lad. He's got muscles in his spit. You don't need to translate that either. Charlie, cheese number 3.
Righty-ho, we have very little knowledge about this cheese at all. In fact, this is the last piece left in the house. So if this cheese goes on to be the lucky winner, we're going to be celebrating 80 grams of brown Swiss curd. That's all we know about it. Cow's milk, brown Swiss breed, which might indicate where it comes from. But again, we haven't got a clue. We're not allowed to know at this time. So it's over to the judges. Let those excellent palates be the guide.
And the person in question is South Africa's finest. Good luck with the rugby, of course, this weekend, taking on Japan. Your nemesis, Susie. Here you go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I absolutely love this cheese. It was really a difficult choice. There were some incredible cheeses there to select it from. It's aged. It's got wonderful, subtle flavors, although also quite complex. It's very balanced, has lovely savory notes and very sweet. Yeah, I was almost disappointed to find that it was a Gouda, but I think it's a really fantastic cheese.
Thank you.
Go.
Okay.
For me, yes. For you?
Yeah, good for me, yeah.
You're eating. Cioè, tu basta che mangi, non è che andiamo...
Did you say anything? Yeah. Do you want to talk about it? Go on.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
Go.
Angela says we can vote, so we can vote. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the Super Jury, on our third cheese as champion by South Africa's finest. Susie, thank you for that. Will you please get ready to vote now? 6, 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 6, 7, 6, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5.
No 3.
There we go. Well done, thank you very much. Alberto, tell us a bit, in English or Italian, doesn't matter, what you thought of the cheese.
Thank you very much. Grazie molte. Questi primi tre formaggi molto interessanti. Il terzo mi dà delle note di latte cotto, di mousse, di caramella mousse, se vi ricordate. Tutti e tre hanno una percentuale sabita abbastanza interessante. Interessante vuol dire che è un po' troppo. Il primo formaggio l'ho trovato molto soft, molto bello, ma non mi sta bene l'occhiatura, la texture, la pasta, non mi piace tanto. Il secondo formaggio l'ho trovato un po' troppo salato. Il terzo, ripeto, un formaggio che ha queste note di mousse, quindi di latte cotto, che è piacevole, anche, però se ci fosse meno sale sarebbe perfetto. Questo per i primi tre formaggi. Grazie.
Grazie. So there you go. So I can tell you had fudge and caramel notes, and there was a nice creamy but quite long, interesting finish, and that was about as much as Angela could tell me in that time. So thank you very much for that. And also, Bruno, I'm going to go over to you. Just tell us a little bit what you thought about that cheese. Bruno Cabral, thank you.
I know. It's really good. Don't have nothing bad with the cheese. It's sweet, caramel notes. Yeah, this really, really good cheese. But it's really flat for me. It's not longer. But it's a great cheese, but it's not a cheese who I buy for me.
Yeah, okay, good. Lots of caramel, fudge notes, but maybe wanting a little bit more. Okay, well done. Thank you very much. We're rattling on. We're now into our fourth of our 16 cheeses. Charlie, tell us a little bit about this cheese number 4.
We've got a fascinating little chappy here, probably no more than 320 grams or something like that. It's got a soaked in red wine characteristic, which we've seen in some Spanish cheeses. There's no clues as to where this has come from. It's organic, it's sheep's milk. We don't know what wine it is. We obviously think it's red wine, but that's the best we can say. But it's going to be really interesting to see how an international group of judges makes of this completely unknown little gem.
Well done. And that's championed, of course, by Mr. Mew, or Shigenobu Murayama, to be quite correct. And I know that his son is going to translate what he's going to say. So over to Mr. Mew to start with, and then Moto Atasu is going to do the translation.
Okay. 熟成にワインを使ったこの紫色の姿が美味しさの予感をさせました。
When I looked at this cheese, this purple color inspired me good taste.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 美味しさの予感をさせたその風味は穏やかで、羊のミルクの熟成の甘さを感じさせる期待通りの美味しさだった。
The taste was very good and friendly, and I felt very matured, sweet and sweet taste of sheep's milk.
そしてこの味は飲み物を選ばない。ワインも白も赤もワインコールって感じですね。ぜひ皆さん味わってみてください。
And this, you can match with this cheese with red wine or white wine, is it? And please try.
Okay, good and red white wines. It's a nice and friendly cheese, which I like. That's a good translation. And of course, again, there were lots of these soft notes there. Will our judges agree with that summarization? So if you are ready to please to vote on Mr. Mew's cheese, which is our cheese number 4, will you please vote now? 4, 3, 6, 5, 2, 4, 4, 5, 4, 3, 6, 4, 7, 2, 5, 3. Here you go. Claudia, I think that worked for you. Tell us a bit about, I like that cheese too, I have to say.
Thank you very much for having me here from Sydney, Australia. I love that cheese. I gave it a 6 and not a 7 because I'm reserving 7 for the cheese that I have chosen. That cheese was on my table and I tried it several times. I almost chose it as the cheese that I wanted to bring here before you and represent. I loved everything about that cheese. I thought it was really well balanced. I just am so in appreciation for how far that cheese has come. So well done to whoever has produced that cheese.
Hello. Likewise. Well, I also thought this was a very well done cheese. I love the texture and the taste of it. Very pleasant cheese to eat. But I missed a little bit of the ending of the cheese. I thought it could have been a little bit more matured for my taste.
Can I just say that I thought that was stunning.
Yeah.
Really nice, almost black currant notes coming off the rind.
Yeah, and me too. Sorry about that, Roland. I thought that was melting cheese. Angela.
Finale. Molti giudici, non so se state ascoltando, stanno, per esempio in questo caso dice sul finale si perdeva e quindi vuol dire come se il formaggio non mantenesse in qualche modo. Guardo Catherine. Vai Nigel, go.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Charlie, our fifth cheese.
Okay, we've got somebody's take on Taleggio here, but it's made with sheep's milk. So we can see a much paler rind, paste. The shape of it is not a traditional Taleggio shape. You can't see from this piece here. It's more of a sort of log, long and thin, rather than square as we'd expect from Taleggio. And we're not seeing on the rind that's a distinctive patterning. So again, we're looking at a cheese which has taken its inspiration from classic European styles, but could be being made anywhere in the world. And to have got to this last 16 point, it means that whoever is making it has totally nailed whatever it is they're using as their raw ingredients and using the inspiration of this traditional style. It smells, as one would expect, slightly of boys' feet, but its flavour is absolutely astonishing, and we've been slightly oogling this one out the back in the kitchen going, oh, this is going to see how this one performs.
Okay, great. Well done. And this was championed by Alberto, of course, Marcomini. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that cheese, that favourite cheese of yours, Alberto.
Per me questo formaggio è molto equilibrato, c'è una bella pasta molto morbida, vellutata, non presenta né note amare neanche note sapide. Noi abbiamo un palato, quindi abbiamo un palato che ci dice tutto quello che noi stiamo assaggiando, quindi il dolce, l'acido, il salato e l'amaro. Questo formaggio credo che abbia un equilibrio persistente e molto interessante.
Grazie mille. So there you go. So lovely velvet, great balance, nice and sweet. You've got a bit of dolce on the finish there. But overall, it was a very well made and a very well balanced cheese. Soft on the finish and lovely sweet notes as well. Okay. Well, our judges agree with Alberto's summarization of that. Judges, if you are ready, will you please vote now on our fifth cheese? Thank you. 7, 5, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5. Kathleen, nice to see you, as ever. Love your glasses. Tell us about the cheese.
I hope you're all having as good a day as I've had. It's been so good. Yes, I find the texture of this cheese incredibly seductive. It's creamy. It has butter notes. I could inhale it. And texture, the texture to me is superb on this. And the rind, also a good balance. Not gritty, as it can be at times. Delicious.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I am here at Joyce. It's a beautiful day for every people here. And the balance of the cheese is perfect. But when we smell, it's very hard. And after the texture of the party is perfect. Not too much salt. It's for me, it's a taleggio. It's a very fantastic Italian cheese. Good, thank you.
Beh, immagino che avrete capito che è stato nominato il taleggio a un certo punto, cioè dice che ha delle note che sono molto simili al nostro formaggio, non troppo salato, quindi molto equilibrato, quasi rasenta la perfezione. Yeah,
absolutely. And can always. I bet Roland's a good kisser. I just think that. Mike, do you think he could be translated? I think Roland's a good kisser.
Thank you so much. It's my new job for the next life.
Okay. We're going to do. Is it after the 8? When do you want to do the top 5, John? Now. Okay. I've got the thumbs up from Stato Farrand. John's going to tell us. So we are going to put up after having tasted 5 cheeses, which ones are ahead of the game at the moment. There you go. So looking at that, we've got the soft fuse milk cheese with 88, 6 points behind the brown Swiss Gouda style, and then the natural rind, the semi-hard goats, 74. 1 point below that is the organic raw milk, and then finally the used milk cheese, but soaked in the red wine. So it's the soft used milk cheese, which is ahead at this stage after 5. There you go. Right, Charlie. Moving on.
Right, our next cheese for you to look at and for our judges to see. This is a Caerphilly. Caerphilly, as I don't know if you're aware, is a traditional Welsh cheese, but there is no protected food name, no PDO, PGI on Caerphilly. So you could make Caerphilly in your backyard if you chose to. So while we know that there was inspiration here, again, we don't know where it's made. Now, you can make Caerphilly with a natural rind, with a natural bloom that would come from your cellars, or we could think of it as a naked cheese with no rind. This one, as we can see, has a very nice bloom coming on, a mixture of molds and yeasts, and it's quite dusty on my hands. But looking back inside it, you see that very traditional English style of the crumbly, slightly acidic, white, sort of softer texture than you expect from a harder cheese like a cheddar. So this feels like we're right in the middle of traditional cheese making, where we've drawn inspiration from way, way back. So it doesn't feel like a modern cheese to me, but who really knows until we find out the name of the producer. So Nigel, back to you. Where are you at?
I'm here.
Please stand up.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheeky.
Just stand up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not that bloody small. No, so didn't need to translate that, Angela. Okay. And this is championed, of course, by Patrick McGuigan. There you are, Pat. Over to you, big fella.
Thank you. So when I came to pick my Super Gold, I looked at the table. There were huge parmesans, big Gruyere-style cheeses that were aged and had washed rinds, big flavours, and then sitting amongst them was this pretty little British cheese, which just immediately I honed in on and sort of claimed it for myself. I confess I love this style of cheese. So in Britain we make these kind of relatively young, crumbly, territorial style cheeses. And Caerphilly is one of my favourites. You can sort of taste the milk in it. That's what I love. You can still taste where it's come from. It hasn't gone on to big, booming flavours. It's still quite mild and delicate. And I love the rind. It's got this beautiful velvety rind. And I don't know if you can see, but that rind starts to break the cheese down just ever so slightly underneath. So you get this sort of two-tone effect. So the centre's quite crumbly and acidic, yogurty, and just under the rind it starts to become almost more mushroomy. And Britain's not known for its food, but I think we can be really proud of a cheese like this. It's one of my absolute favourites.
Fantastico. Ha raccontato una storia bellissima che parla di un prato, di una montagna. Si può ancora ascoltare il latte che c'è dentro e vedere dove è stato prodotto. He tells of a story of this cheese, no?
Yeah.
You can see where it is.
Where it's from, yes, it's a Welsh cheese, and that's what he's picked up. And he said it talks about where it's from, the country. It's very typical of the area.
Good picture.
Yeah, for sure. Although he did say that the United Kingdom's not really famed for our food.
It's not true.
No. Will you translate that? Because I was a bit upset by him then. Into the mic.
In Inghilterra non è famosa per il cibo, ma non è vero, perché oramai a Londra si mangia benissimo e anche in gran parte della nazione. So, no, don't say so.
It's a long time ago. It's getting better now, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. So well done for championing that one. I think the key is now to see if the judges agree with you. Pat McGuigan. Here we go. Okay, so Patrick McGuigan's cheese, will you please vote now? 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7, 7, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3. Over to you, Carlos. You loved it. We love you. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Nigel. This cheese was in my first table, and we had tasted a couple of cheeses, not really finding a gold medal yet. And when we arrived to this cheese, we were blown away by the cheese. And really what did it for me was exactly what Patrick was saying, is this sort of like mushroomy taste that it tends to have towards the rind because of the breakdown, as opposed to the paste, which is really sort of mild, yogurty and lactic. And I think it's such a well-structured cheese. It's gorgeous to look at. The paste is wonderful. If this were the best cheese in the world, I would be very happy. I think it's a true representation of a good cheesemaker.
There you go. It was €10 in your back pocket for that, from the man on your left. And also someone who's used to cheese like this, but obviously liked it, I'm sure would be very happy, Jason, if it was sold at Neil's Yard.
I've eaten a lot of kefili this year and in previous years, and I have to say that's one of the nicest kefilis I've eaten for a while. I think I love the toothsome nature of the texture. You know, there's a bite to it with some resistance, but it's fondant at the same time, and you don't get that with a lot of cheeses. The things that everyone else has said about the breakdown and the balance of the breakdown with the acidity is very, very pleasing. And then that lovely, sort of velvety rind, which you can just, if you eat it, and I think you should eat it, is also a very satisfying thing to eat. So incredible balance. Definitely my favourite cheese so far.
Carmen, what about yourself?
Anche penso che sia molto equilibrato. Mi è piaciuto tantissimo la cortezza, pulita, elegante, anche se per me è stato un po' salato, aveva un punto di salinità un po' alto. Mi è sembrato formaggio che anche per me sarebbe un bel orgoglio che fosse il migliore formaggio al mondo.
Okay.
That was good.
That it win, yes.
Yes.
And see, in Italian you want to know or in English?
Well, I think the Italians know that. In English, I've got a pretty good distinct, so we're
it's a
okay.
little bit salty, no?
Yeah, for one or two.
But
yeah.
she wants.
Yeah.
You want that it wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit salty for the Spanish palate, and I think again it is a very typical cheese of its type. So there you go.
Curious of the score, the final score.
Yeah.
This cheese.
Okay, we've done it. I don't know what it is,
I
but
know,
yeah.
but I'm very curious.
Yes,
I don't
curious.
know. I know.
Angela's very curious, so that's good.
This cheese.
Yes. No, in life generally, I think you're quite curious, and that's not a bad thing. Here we go. We're going to move on to our next cheese, Charlie. Quite a big one from a big round. That's some truckle you've got there, baby, or part truckle.
We know very little about this cheese, except that its shape sort of entirely gives it away, if you know what I mean. It's got that hard characteristic of the Alpine cheeses, which have those high scald points and very tight cutting of the curd when in the make. And the cheeses that responded terribly well to strong aging really begin to get into their stride at 8 and 9 months, display full character 12 to 13 months, and go on to be astonishingly complex at that 16, 17, 18, 9-month sort of period. And you can see that the rind has done its time in the cellar. What we're expecting from this cheese is all the crowd pleasers. What we need from this cheese is all the complexity if it's going to have a chance to win at this level.
Okay. Will it have the complexity? That's what we want to find out. Kathy, here you go. If this was your baby, and I know you're looking at it again, and you're smiling and salivating, but tell us why.
I'm very happy with this cheese. The earthiness of it is very appealing. It's very balanced. I agree that it is very alpine. I see many applications for serving it, if one wants to share that with one's customers, whatever. But I had tasted many cheeses before this one without such an exciting flavor, that when I bit into it, it was an explosion and my taste buds were dancing. It was delightful. And I think this is a cheese that would be very appealing on a broad basis as well.
Si presta quindi a molti usi. Mi piace la parola esplosione. Quando l'ho assaggiato è an explosion.
Absolutely, but lots of explosion. Very good, yeah. It has a little crunch to it, but lactate crystals, a little bite as well is in there.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Continuous.
Okay, well, will our judges agree with Kathy? Let's hope so. Fingers crossed for her, certainly. Here we go. Will you get ready to vote? Mr. Moo's gone early, we don't mind that. That's good in life. Will you please vote now? 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 7, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7, 6, 6, 6. Okay. Mr. Moo, you went for that one. You liked that one. You went early. You voted early. Tell us why, and then your very fine son will translate.
はい。熟成の良さ、それから後味の長さ、ここに、とても気に入りました。
I really loved very good matured and taste ends very long. That's why I voted 7.
Long taste, finishes, goes long, there's plenty there. And I would agree with that. And I think it's got lots of different levels of flavour, comes in, and it does linger long in the mouth. It craves wine or cider or apple juice, something like that as well.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else from Mr. Moo?
なんか他にありますか？
噛んでてちょっとシャリッとする頃、美味しさの結晶がこれがとても歯ごたえが良かったですね。
When I bite it, and has a crystal.
Yes, that's right. Tartrate crystals. There you go.
I really love that feeling.
Yeah, actually, lactate crystals. Get it right, Nige. Augusto, you tell us. Here you go. There's a microphone coming your way. Just what you thought of that cheese. Thank you.
Well, and this cheese, which is clearly, impeccably produced, to me, there is an unbalanced lipid-protein ratio compared to what you can obtain, because during the curdling, with the temperature that they use, you should get a better mold. That's my feeling. Clearly, I gave 6, which is quite a high vote, because you cannot deny the intrinsic quality of this cheese making. Still is far from perfection, and at the same time, let's say most cases they do. That's why.
Very succinct, very good, and a little bit of technical data. I like that as well. Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, I thought that was a great cheese, I have to say, and well made and of its type. Charlie, what are you going to wow us with now, big fella?
Well, the next one out of the box is this little chappy here.
Come speak into your microphone, Charlie. It's the way it works. Yeah.
I usually don't need one. This little chappy is clearly of that Spanish, maybe Portuguese extraction. I'm just going to put that and talk into my pocket for a second, because I need to get the top off so you can really see. Can you see that?
Gooey.
And that is the super goo. I was there when this cheese was coming off the tables, and the judge there turned the curd. So you're getting a mixture of the heavily broken down cheese with the slightly less broken down cheese. Now, we know that this is a sheep's milk cheese, which leads us to think of the torta de Casar or something like that from the Extremadura region. I'm not aware of this being copied anywhere in the world at the moment, but we learn something new every time we do these judgings. But if you can just see that is just beginning to run there. Can you see that? If I hold that there any minute longer, it's going on my shoe.
We get your drift.
Cool.
Over to you, Angela.
È impressionante, lo posso dire in italiano? Sì, è un formaggio che abbiamo anche assaggiato insieme e Charlie mi ha insegnato anche a mangiarlo così, no? Perché mi diceva è il modo migliore per assaggiarlo con il dito. Quindi sì, è impressionante. No, you can't. Ho detto, non puoi qui, but I know, è irresistibile. I know.
You can lick it with your fingers, put it behind your ears. It doesn't matter. It's fantastic. It's a finger licker.
Allora.
Sorry, Angela, I'm embarrassing you and myself.
Me too. So go on.
Okay, there you go. Well, that's it. We've talked about it, and let's see what our judges think about that. But and of course, it's Roland's here. That was a joy for you.
Thank you. How are you, everybody? How you enjoy? Yeah, come on. Let's go. You don't sleep now. A Jewish also don't sleep. Move. It's baby Madagascar. Move. Yeah, thank you. My cheese is fantastic because it's a raw, cheap milk, and it's not rennet with animal. It's a vegetable rennet. It's a chardon vegetable. And it just sheep milk, raw cheap milk. And after salt, and we put inside the pistil of the chardon. After 5 weeks, this cheese is delicious. It's southeast to Spain, just near Portugal. And I know this name, yeah, but shh. Okay. I hope so is the best of the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Ci stava spifferando qualcosa. He was telling something about where.
Yeah, well, he was near the Portuguese border. He thought with Spain, that end, there's sisal in it, the way it's been made. But he obviously loved the gooey, lovely nature.
Yes, and?
I think you said. Yes, okay. Andrew's going to taste some as well. Roland's on tour. He's going to be in London's West End. He'll be in Paris. He's on a walking tour. If you don't do any tours, I know you do, but you're very good at it. And it's great to see you bring a great energy to proceedings as ever. Roland, thank you very much. Okay. He's loved that cheese, but what about our judges? We know that there's a lot of French love going for this particular cheese, so let's find out from our judges. Okay, judges, will you please vote? Kathy's ready. Now, 6, 7, 6, 7, 4, 7, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 7, 7. Okay, the mighty duo. Here we go at the end.
Woohoo.
Catherine, in as many languages as you want, and Nick, you loved that baby.
Assolutamente, questo è una bellezza incredibile, ha un equilibrio, una dolcezza, una mancanza di sale e soprattutto quando si fa questo formaggio con il rennet, vegetarian rennet, è molto difficile di non avere questa, come si dice in italiano? amertume in French, non è amaro veramente. L'amaro che si trova naturalmente in questa pianta che si utilizza per fare il formaggio sparisce. It's one of the most beautiful that I ever tasted of this kind of cheeses, and it has 100% a balance that took away the the very powerful rennet that it has. This how do you call? Sorry. Yes, the fezzel that you normally have, and it's so sweet and so balanced that you cannot avoid to fall in love. And I really fell in love.
Catherine, ti starei a sentire te
And that's enough about. There you go. And that's enough about Roland. Yes, and Catherine, with a little bit of help from Kathy, I like that as well. Nick, that worked for you, big fella, didn't it?
Absolutely, and Roland is right. Wow. I know, because this one was from table 54 this morning, and that was the exact same reaction we all had when we tried this, and I am thrilled to see it here at the final table. Wow is all I can say.
Wow, è veramente internazionale. Wow, wow cheese. It's a wow cheese. Okay. It's a new category. We have wow.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Lots of wows. So there you go. Wow. Let's moving it on, Charlie. That's gone up on the screen, so you can all see the note. I presume that's the intention, but it's gone up there. So we're going to have to go because that's pretty popular at the moment. But Charlie, come on, wowers with this one.
Well, I don't want to persuade the judges this is the one to win. This is another of these Alpine styles. We know it's a Gruyere. We know that it's aged over 12 months. That's as much as we go. So compared to some of the other cheeses we've looked at today, we know quite a lot about this one. And so the judges will be entering familiar ground. But as I said last time, these cheeses routinely hit that wonderful, sweet, savory, salty spot. And at age can really deliver some fantastic complexity. And let's see what our judges made of it.
Okay, all your mobile phones off, you naughty person. Even if it is Barack Obama, whoever it is. Have to ring back later. Okay, but it's Peter. The mighty, the Swedes are in the house, and one of Sweden's finest exports. Tell us about the cheese that you love.
Thank you. Sometimes you tend to bring home the same cheese time after time, and you promise yourself, all right, next time I will hunt for another one, and we'll skip the Gruyere. But then again, you come to the table and you find an example like this one with such beautiful fruitiness. The paste is wonderful, and you fall in love every time, and you say, thanks God I haven't got tired on it after 30 years. I hope I never get tired of it. Thank you. I hope you love it as much as I do.
Enjoying it for 30 years.
But it's a surprise for him, no? È una sorpresa per lui questo nuovo formaggio.
Well, it's a cheese he likes being regularly surprised. It's so good for 30 years.
For 40 years,
30.
40 anni. 30 anni. For 30 years. Beh, è una bella, it's a big cheese. It's a great cheese for you. Ok. Yeah. Allora, penso che per questi giudici sia anche molto importante quando arrivano e fanno queste selezioni, a un certo punto trovare qualcosa che li sorprenda, sai, arrivare to be surprised at the end. Penso che lo si può vedere dalla sua faccia, che sia molto contento. Thank you. You say yes, but then I know that you don't understand what
Of course I do. I
know.
I'm nodding and loving you with my eyes. There you go. And Peter, that's a surprising cheese of 30 years. Every time he has it, he's surprised how good it is. He can't go away from it. That's great. That's a lovely description. Okay, but will our judges agree with Peter? So let's find out. The Mattinson has judged. We know what he'll be coming out with. What about your other judges? Can we have your scores on the doors, please, now? 7, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 5, 4. And I'm going to go straight to, actually, Augusto, you have a microphone there. Maybe you love that cheese. Just please tell us why.
That goes back to what I think is an important quality in cheese tasting, which is the balance of the lipid content and the protein content. In this case, during molding, they obtain a perfect match. It's highly balanced. The flavor are completely expressed in the typical Gruyere situation. You have herb, you have spices, you go back to almonds, you go to dry, to stray, and it's impeccable in my view. That's why I gave 7. I don't think you can achieve anything better in Gruyere cheesemaking, which I didn't find before. Therefore, I gave a 5 to the previous products.
Thank you. Well done. And Patrick, you're a pretty generous guy normally in life. You know, you're pretty caring, you give a lot, you've got a big heart. What happened there?
I've been trying this cheese for a long time as well, and I suspect maybe I was a bit harsh on that, but I've tasted a lot of Gruyere. It's a wonderful cheese, and that is a really nice example of Gruyere. It didn't blow my mind. It sort of left me thinking I wanted more. So the previous cheese that we had, which was a similar style, was much more muscular and it was like on steroids, you know, it was a big cheese. This one was a nice, pleasant cheese. I liked it, but it didn't give me that wow factor that Nick was talking about. It didn't leave me kind of wanting more. So, yeah, not for me.
Well, we're going to take you out into Bergamo tonight and blow your mind somehow else. Because we need to do that. Angela, over to you.
One night in Bergamo for Patrick, yes. No, mi colpiva il fatto che lui definiva questo, cioè cercava qualcosa di più mascolino in qualche modo, no? So it isn't so masculine for you, or not?
No, it was more
maschile.
Restrained, more restrained than the previous cheese that we had.
Okay.
Normally a bit stronger, a bit more thoughtful. So, there you go.
Vai, puoi andare.
Did you speak Italian? I thought you... Do you speak Italian? No. Well, a Swede doesn't speak Italian. That's unusual, but thank you very much. Well done to you. Okay, it's exciting. And my goodness me, Charlie, it keeps you out of the gym lifting cheeses like this. Tell us a little bit about our 10th cheese, and then we'll find out who's championed it and why.
This is Jason's. Again, matured 12 months again, but smaller. We're seeing a cheese that's substantially smaller than the classic sort of Gruyère's Comtes, which again puts us in a position where we don't know where this cheese is coming from, whether it comes from Europe or possibly further afield, but inspired by Europe like so many cheeses are. So we're seeing that high salt, high scald curd, high cut, long-lived, sweet salt savoury combination that gives such interesting flavour and, as Peter says, pleases so many people so much at the time.
There you go. And I know someone who does love it. I'm going to give him his microphone as well while the cheese goes on display. Jason, tell us about your cheese and why you championed it.
I have to confess I felt very schizophrenic about this decision. Because on the one hand, you know, when you come to this stage, there's a lot of great cheeses there. And often at this stage, too, there's a lot of cheeses, Patrick touched on it, cheeses that really make their impact cheeses. You know, they're brassy. You know, they as I said to somebody earlier on, you know, you know, lots of lipstick. Very upfront, and I think that my problem with it is that there's not a lot of room for slightly more sedate, you know, more you know, gentle flowers, but I chose this cheese anyway, and I think, you know, the schizophrenia comes from: do you pick the cheese that's the best made, or do you choose the cheese that you think's got the best chance of winning? And those are two different decisions. So I actually chose the cheese that I thought was the best made on my table. It's got a really lovely, as I said, lovely bite, lovely texture. I'm really fond of those kind of brothy flavors. There's some sort of dried fruit in there as well. But the mouthfeel was great, and there wasn't a lot of things that I couldn't really find anything to fault it with. So it was the cheese I chose.
È molto bella la frase. Sorry, we forgot. Ok. È molto bella la frase che ha detto su quando tu stai giudicando un formaggio. Mi sono chiesto se devi scegliere il formaggio che ha più chance di vincere. Io ho scelto il formaggio che stava meglio alla mia tavola, che avrei mangiato tutti i giorni, che mi sembrava una cosa molto... Dove sei? Where are you?
Yeah. It's all right. No, just tidying up as I go along.
Me alone here.
It's okay. Don't worry. So we know how schizophrenic Jason. He came down in the end. He's taken his medication. He's all right. We know he's back to being Heinz again. What about our other judges? Will they be a split decision for them or not? Judges, will you please vote on our 9th cheese now? She's 10th. There you go. 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 6, 3, 4, 6, 7, 5, 5, 5. Kathy, I'm going to start with you, if that's all right. You gave it a 6. You pretty much, well, you liked it a lot.
I liked the cheese, and I thought the personality of the cheese was similar to the way Jason expressed it. I've got these beautiful balanced wine overtones to it. I just thought it had a really nice personality, and it was a well-structured product.
Great. Okay. Mr. Moo, here we go. Here are you. Thank you.
はい、このチーズは噛んだ時のとっても口どけがいいですね。
And this cheese, when I bite it, it's really smooth.
Very smooth, yeah.
熟成の長い割にですね、非常にソフトな組織です。
The texture was really soft as this long matured age.
はい、私の大好きな味の一つですね。
That was one of my favorite.
Yeah, great. Well, there you go. That's good. Why you gave it 7. Thank you very much, Mr. Mew. Thank you very much indeed. And then Kathy. Okay, just to let you know again with our judges, I said it's very cosmopolitan. We have, out of our 16 judges, we've got 13 countries represented, but we did have our cheeses came from 42 countries. Our judges came from 35. So we had Slovenia, Bosnia, New Zealand, Canada, obviously Japan, as you can see, South America, Ecuador. It really is a fantastic gathering that we've witnessed here. And I know Bob Farrand, who is in the room for Gandalf of the Cheese World, he said, "Will you stand up, please, for a minute, Bob, because you set this all up 32 years ago. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here now." Thank you. There you go. Fantastic. He was standing up then. He was all right. He was a scrum half and a wicket keeper. And thank you so much for all your and the Great Taste Awards, but the World Cheese Awards, I know, very dear to your heart. This is year 32. Fantastic. He was only very, very young when he started the awards, of course. But Bob, thank you so very much. Oh yes, and Linda. Now, Roland is thanking Linda, which terrifies me and worries me particularly why, but there you go. It's, yeah, I know, yeah, because he's obviously, and Linda Farrand as well. Okay. Next cheese, Charlie. Here we go, which I can tell you is our 11th cheese out of 16.
This cheese, we have little known about it. It's got absolutely no precedent, I can tell. It's got a blue coming through it, vertically pierced. We've got a very yellow curd about it, and not a very big cheese. So whoever's making this is relying on it, maintaining its consistency so we don't get too much drying out. The yellowness, for me, indicates maybe a British origin. It just feels like that butteriness you get from British pastures. And I'm expecting the judges to think that it's got major dairy notes. But of course, we don't know until they tell us. So let's see what they make of this completely unique and new and unusual cheese.
Ok, sorry, Angela, you can say that, you can translate that.
Solo la prima parte, non la seconda, perché ha detto una cosa su Charlie. Allora, no, che il colore del formaggio lascia pensare a Charlie che possa essere un formaggio di origine britannica, ma non siamo sicuri. Lui non sa nulla, giusto? He doesn't know.
No.
Okay.
You know shit. There you go. Sorry, nothing. Sorry, that's not true. He just got a great palate.
No.
Yeah. Don't translate that, for God's sake, Angela.
No, I don't want to translate for you. You must.
Okay, and this was championed by Augusto as well. So please tell us why you love this cheese so much. Yeah, I see.
Well, I'm very thankful for this invitation, and I would like to provide you with the elements that took me to select this cheese as my favorite on the table that I was assigned to. I want my eyes to be pleased. I want my touch to be pleased when I hold the cheese. I want an olfactory composition, which is a palette and not a single vein. And in my mouth, I don't want something that asks me to have another piece. I want something that fully makes me happy with one single mouthful. And I am very careful in trying to understand the temperature they use to produce the cheese, and also in this case I think there is clearly some annatto. Annatto is the yellowish color that you might have seen, which is very pleasant. The rind outside, for example, has no evidence of the hole of the needle that they use to inseminate penicillin. The terpenic flavor that is released by blue cheese, that I'm not a fanatic about blue cheese. I think sometimes it adds too much and covers something, but here you enjoy the cheese and you enjoy the blue veins just as much. It's a very balanced situation, which I think is rarely achieved. That's why there was this incredible dichotomia before, in people liking, some Gruyere more muscular and more wild, and some more balanced. No one is right. It's a question of judgment and whatever. In this cheese, I think that it could also pair very nicely on a number of dishes, and my idea is that cheese could be a main course and not just a side dish. It's easy to pair it with wine. It can go up to a light red wine served at cold temperature. These are all the reasons that brought me, because I knew that I wanted to bring to your attention a very good cheese, and these were the criteria I used to select it. Thank you very much.
Grazie. Stay on your feet, please, because just in case anyone's in doubt, Semprini, you are Italian, so we maybe just give your thoughts in Italian as well, please. Thank you. Grazie mille. Yes, maybe slightly shorter, but anyway.
I'll try to be shorter.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Volevo condividere con gli altri giudici i criteri che mi hanno portato a scegliere questo formaggio. Quando scelgo un formaggio ho bisogno di un criterio estetico, visivo, una valutazione proprio di com'è. Questo ha le dimensioni di circa 600 grammi, ha una forma tonda, uno scalzo concavo, ha due facce perfette, non si vedono neanche i buchi dell'inseminazione delle vene di Penicillium roqueforti. Il colore è graditissimo ed è ottenuto con una spezia che viene dall'Amazzonia, che si chiama annatto. È il colorante E160, viene usato per esempio nello Shropshire Blue, viene usato anche nel cheddar, ed è particolarmente felice la nuance che hanno ottenuto. Le venature che voi sentite e che vedete molto bene sono discrete, non c'è un eccesso di... È molto bella come venatura, è esteticamente gradevole. È un eccesso di estetismo, ma insomma voglio che il mio occhio sia soddisfatto. Quando l'ho in mano, questo formaggio qua ha una grande morbidezza e consistenza allo stesso tempo. Quando lo annuso ho la componente terpenica. I terpeni sono delle sostanze vegetali ad altissimo potere olfattivo, sono molto profondi e sono rilasciati dalle muffe. L'odore di chiuso, ad esempio, è un odore terpenico, di muffe. Se queste dominano il formaggio, voi mangiate della muffa e non mangiate del formaggio. Voglio un formaggio muffato. E questo l'ho trovato in questo formaggio. Dopodiché lo voglio sentire che cosa mi dice in bocca, e di nuovo, e questo per me è un grande vantaggio, quando il naso e la bocca trovano la stessa esperienza. La stessa esperienza è di un bilanciamento fra la componente di muffatura e la componente proprio di pasta del formaggio. Nella pasta del formaggio vi sono queste due componenti dominanti, quella lipidica e quella proteica, che è solo il casaro molto esperto che riesce a far sposare facilmente. E concludo, che prima la differenza di voti, in cui sembra un po' dicotomica, per non dire schizofrenica, nel senso che quando io voto 7 per il formaggio lui vota 3 e quando io voto 3 lui vota 7, per due prodotti quasi perfetti che riflettono solo due arti casearie, in cui uno può preferire un tipo o quell'altro, nessuno dei due ha ragione, ma vedete proprio come ci si divide. In questo formaggio ho trovato un grande bilanciamento. L'ultimo punto, il formaggio è facile da abbinare ad un vino, è facile da abbinare ad altri cibi e questo penso sia un elemento importante se vogliamo dare al formaggio un ruolo centrale da un punto di vista di un pasto e non solo un ruolo complementare, con la famosa frase italiana familiare a tutti quanti, per cui la povera vacca deve completare il pasto e non invece dominarlo. Grazie.
Grazie. There you go. So there'll be a short medical version of that online. Brilliant. Thank you. Very well done. You can tell that Augusto is of a medical persuasion, and he also wipes his hands every time he touches the cheeses, which I thought was very, it's good health and safety. We like that. Judges, we've swayed by that in either language. Augusto, we know where he's going with this. Where will you be going? Please vote now on cheese number 11. 6, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 7, 4, 5. Claudia, here we go. Tell us your thoughts.
Thank you very much. A beautiful cheese, no doubt about it. Not what I'm looking for in a blue cheese. I've tried a huge amount of blue cheeses today, and that just didn't knock my socks off. It is very, I guess, typical of many of the blue cheeses that we have in Australia at the moment, and it just didn't have that sparkle, that finesse. Nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't fault it. Just didn't interest me.
For me, I thought this was a very nice cheese, and it was also a surprise. I didn't expect that kind of taste for it, so it was a very pleasant surprise. And also, it's different to many other blue cheeses, where it's more creaminess, especially in the modern blue cheeses. Here you have a little bit to chew on, which I liked very much with this cheese. Beautiful cheese.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Claudia and Peter. And now, let's see our top 5 and just see where we're at. So I can tell you that the raw sheep's milk, Roland will be very delighted about this because it's got 92 points. The hard raw milk cheese is got, I'm scribbling this down at the same time, and I'm a man, I can't really multitask. And that's got 89, and then one behind it was the soft used milk cheese, the wash rind with 88, and then this one matured for 12 months at 86, and then the hard cow's milk with the unpasteurized milk at 85. So at the moment, the leader is the raw sheep's milk cheese with 92. There you go. Wow, how exciting! And we're down to about our last half dozen. Exciting. Here we go, Charlie.
Right. Lovely cheese here we've got here. I am not persuading you that it's going to win anything, but I love it when a traditional recipe gets taken by the bootstraps and really riffed with a cheesemaker. This is a cheddar. Now, we all know the cheddars come in those 25 blocks, maybe smaller, 25 kilo blocks. This one is maybe a kilo. More interesting, made with buffalo milk. So we've got a buffalo milk cheddar with no history of being made into cheddars. Cheddar brings out the savory notes in a cheese. Buffalo milk doesn't go there. So we're not having any clue about where to go. The next element to take into account when looking at a cheese like this is small cheeses mature more quickly. So with a cheddar, we're looking for 12, maybe 18 months. This is going to get into its stride at 6, really get going at 7 or 8, and maybe all over by 9, 10, or 11, 12 months. So it's breaking new ground in 2 or 3 different ways, and if it's got this far in the competition, it's clearly succeeding. So let's see what our cheese judges make of it.
Angela, over to you.
Yes, la cosa particolare di questo formaggio è che è un cheddar che viene prodotto con un latte di bufala e questo è molto molto inusuale, almeno così dice Nigel, dicono Nigel e Charlie, io devo crederti per forza, sono costretta.
Okay, great, that's good. Catherine, over to you.
It's your. Yes, it's my choice.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah. Io l'ho scelto perché questo non sapevo che era fatto del latte di bufala quando l'ho assaggiato, ma ho trovato una personalità unica in questo formaggio. C'è una bellezza di dettaglio del latte, di quello che hanno mangiato gli animali, di un equilibrio incredibile, una bellezza, una dolcezza che mi ha portato veramente via e ho detto questo è una cosa che non ho mai assaggiato prima. As I'm telling, it was for me a very big surprise because I didn't look what I was going to taste. I didn't want to know before I tasted. And when I tasted, I found it so unique in its taste, sweetness, balance, milkiness, and everything was like bringing me to something special, known but unknown at the same time, because I got a little bit the notes of the bacony taste that is so typical for the cheddar, and at the same time I got some sweetness at the end that brought me to another level, and I just found it unique, and so unique that I couldn't just let it pass. So thank you.
Thank you. Catherine, very good, very succinctly put and elegantly put in both languages as well. So will our judges agree with the Fogel favouritism? Please, will you vote now? 5, 5, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5, 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7. Kathleen, here you go.
You know, I kept going back to this one because I do agree that the flavor is very distinct and different. I struggle with the description of it being cheddar. I find the texture and everything about it very different than that. But I also appreciate that the buffalo milk will create different pleasures and different textures and flavors and things. But I kept going back to taste again because I was trying to think of how to describe the taste. It's distinct. It doesn't taste like bufala to me. There's that sweetness to it that doesn't often come through in the milk, in the aged products. So I liked it.
Jason, do you recognise any cheddar in that?
Yeah, I don't feel quite as strongly as Kathleen about that, but what I do agree with, and why perhaps it's not maybe perceived that it's in the cheddar family, is that it's quite unlike any other cheese that we've tasted today, and quite unlike most cheese I've ever tried. And there is a uniqueness about it, which I think is really interesting, and for that reason, I think I went back to it because I was kind of fascinated by it, because it really felt like I was eating a discovery. And so it really held my attention. And, you know, I don't think it's the perfect cheese, but I give it a very high score because I think it's very unusual.
Quindi è vero che questo latte di bufala ha veramente reso particolare e inusuale questo formaggio, quindi almeno forse non è la perfezione, ma comunque è a altissimo livello.
There you go. Thank you for that.
Can I just ask, Jason? I mean, Neil's Yard, organisation, great history, one of the best affineurs, if not the best affineur in the UK. That cheese, do you think it would benefit from being a bigger cheese? I mean, it felt like its smallness was over maturing it too much, if you sort of see what I mean.
Talk about being put on the spot. Yeah, no, I think that's true. I think that the size does not help it. I don't think it would be helped either if it was a sort of full-size 25-kilo cheese either. But I do think that you know, the balance of the paste and the rind are not going to be helped. Not going to help to help the cheese. And I think that. I'm inclined to agree with you, Charlie.
So to get this far on this new cheese, it could even be better if it was done a bit differently.
I think that, I don't know if it's a new cheese. I think that if it is, it's whoever made it should hold their head very high.
Yeah.
And if it's just begun, yes, looking again at how you might be able to evolve this recipe would be a great idea. But I think it has incredible amount of potential, and it seems really like it's filling a niche of that no other cheese is really filling. So yeah, I can see why Catherine went for it. She was on my table and she got to it for me. But no, I think it's a very interesting cheese.
I mean, that's the one thing we have to say, Nigel, is every cheese that gets this far is awesome. And sometimes the criticisms, if we can call them out, they get picked out. I need to be in the context of it's a good cheese. If
Really good cheese in any language. And as Catherine pointed out as well, so eloquently in Italian, you could see why she likes it. Okay, let's move it on. We've got 4 cheeses to go.
Cool. Now, this one we're getting to, we know is a cheddar, we know it's unpasteurized, we know it's cloth wrapped, which means we're beginning to really narrow down on the number of producers who could have produced this. And you can see the cloth just coming off the side here. There is some chatter in that behind them going about who could possibly have made this, because we sort of are familiar with some of the producers. And it's great, it's really great to see one of the really great recipes at the top table. Some people argue that cheddar doesn't do well in competition because it's a bit of a loner. It's got some acidic and savory flavors that make it sit just like it's a bit uncomfortable against some of those big sweet cheeses like the Gruyères, and it's just awesome to see this. So we would really like to see a cheddar do well, but it's not our decision. We've got 16 of the best here to do it. Let's see what they're going to say.
And talking about it being a cheddar, but it's championed by someone born in Mexico, living in the United States, but obviously loves a cheese like this. Carlos Yescas, over to you.
Thank you. So I just want to share something. This year is the 10th year that I'm judging as a Supreme Judge.
But you don't look that old.
It's an absolute pleasure to always do this and to have a hand in deciding what the best cheese in the world is. And for that reason, I'm going to convince you to vote for this cheese. So imagine that, we all know cheddar. There's many types of cheddar. It is the most... is the easiest cheese that you can eat on a sandwich. It's melted in everything. But that cheese that we all taste in those modern conditions comes from somewhere else. Comes from a past that was very rustic, that calls back to a traditional style of really preserving milk. And then on top of that, this cheddar not only does that, but it also is wrapped in cloth. So it has gone for all of the things that really show a cheddar. So just looking at it, it's a gorgeous cheese. It's telling you a story by itself. And we haven't even tasted. And then you go and taste it. And the first thing that I actually get is not the flavor, but the texture. And this texture is nothing to do with modern cheddar. This is flaky and soft.
Handmade feel in it, yeah.
Right. So the texture is incredible. And then you go for the flavor, and I think there's 3 flavors, or 3 parts of the development of the flavor. One is the milk flavor development at the beginning that is sort of lactic. Then there's a fruitiness, almost like a pineapple flavor. And then it ends with cave cellar flavor. And that is not only a testament of good cheese making, but of good cheese affinage, right? So this cheese is doing both jobs. We have tasted other cheeses that have done very well in cheese making, and other ones that have benefited from good affinage. But this cheese has done both things in one cheese. I'll encourage you to give this your highest note.
Ecco, yes. Ok, Carlos, era molto bello ascoltare la tua descrizione, perché quello che lui ha posto l'accento soprattutto sul fatto che questo cheddar ha una storia, un passato, racconta una storia, ha più che sul flavor, lui ha posto l'accento proprio sulla texture, che è fantastica, abbastanza unica, ed è come se questo cheddar avesse 3 formaggi insieme, cioè un flavor legato proprio al sapore del latte, no? Un altro proprio alla frutta, al sapore di frutta, e un altro salato. È come se tu avessi 3 formaggi in un unico formaggio. Quindi è una descrizione abbastanza affascinante.
Okay, thank you. Brilliantly put as well. A taste of history. Carlos's mouth, but will it actually find favour with our other judges? Okay, there are 3 more cheeses after this. Please vote now. 5, 4, 6, 4, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 4, 7, 4. Okay, I'm going to head straight down here because we have once a difference in the taste. But Nick, you gave it 7, and Catherine 4. So let's find out just what it was, the subtleties that made you vote in different ways. Nick.
I agree with Carlos. I think not only is it a good tasting cheese and very well made, but it also was aged really well too. And you can see that in the texture and in the pattern of the cloth on the rind. Really, at the end of the day, this is what cheddar should be. It sets the bar, really, and I think it's a lovely cheese. Good choice, Carlos.
No, I found it really, Carlos, I found it good, but at the same time, for me, the cave taste dominated too much, which made it, for me, like setting back and not letting the taste coming through 100%. And that's the reason why I put it back. Initially, I wanted to give it more, but the more the cave taste dominated and remained as the aftertaste, I had to give up and say, okay, it's not exactly what I wanted it to be, and that's the reason why I gave it 4. Mi hanno chiesto di spiegare come mai che il giudice a fianco a me ha dato 7 punti mentre che io ho fatto soltanto 4. Io ho trovato il formaggio veramente molto bello dall'inizio, ma dopo ha predominato un po' il posto dove è stato stagionato. Vuol dire che ho trovato troppo quello sapore di grotta che ha superato questa dolcezza, questa bellezza dall'inizio, e quando ha predominato così tanto mi ha lasciato la bocca piuttosto un po' sporca e non così pulita e bella come si trova quando l'equilibrio si trova là.
I will be very short. I gave the same, no, extremely short. Again, is this difference in the style of tasting and whatever, and it was 4, 4, 7. And it's like before, it was just the reciprocal, which reflects a different way of evaluating it. It's clearly there is an enormous amount of saltiness and amertume left over, which we think should not be in a cheese. It might have a more male, masculine taste, want a strong taste. In that case, this is a very affirmative cheese. But this will be very difficult to pair. And I would not know which one can hold it. This is something that we should pay attention to, in my view.
Yeah, no, good one. Good view, thank you. Thank you, Augusto. There you go. Excellent. We've got 3 to go, and that was a great league of data because it was championed by someone born in Mexico, lives in the States, and was really then appreciated by someone who's Canadian but with Greek European origins, and then also someone who's a Viking, basically, who just finished it off. And then we had, of course, an Italian academic and fine medical great palate that goes with it. So that's, to me, why the World Cheese Awards are just summed up by all the different people there. Okay, Charlie, nearly there. 3 down, 3 to go.
I'm just going to defend the cheddar. We have got some fantastic ciders and bitters for those people who are in.
Yes, bira.
Beautifully pair with those kind of things. It's that classic thing of drink what grows up with the cheese and you'll find the pairing that's perfect, which nicely segues onto this little chappie. As classic as cheddar is to the UK, this is a I'm presuming, certainly inspired by the French époisse. And we know from the description being provided that it's been washed in Marc de Bourgogne, which makes it even more likely. We're seeing that classic Brevibacterium linens, that bacteria ripening technique, which gives it this orange distinct color. And we're going to expect when we see it amongst the judges and when we break this cheese open to have it go super gooey. Now, it's my experience, these cheeses have a very narrow perfection point, which makes it even more difficult for the cheesemakers to get it here, be perfect, be good for the judges. They've got much more difficulty than, say, with the cheddar. Now, with these kind of cheeses, people don't know why they started washing them, but one of the stories they say is that they give it a particularly meaty or offal flavor, and all those monasteries of days of yore that were vegetarian hunkered for a bit of bacon or a nice bit of beef, and that's why they started washing cheeses. So it was the first sort of vegetarian alternative. As to whether that's true or not, who really knows? We make most of this stuff up anyway.
There you go. Good luck with that, Angela. Okay, now I want to call you Claudia Bowman. Claudia here in Italy, but of course Claudia Bowman if you're coming from Australia. But however you pronounce your first name, you love that cheese.
Goodness me, let me tell you why this cheese deserves to win. And I love what you said about the fact that it's kind of going to go off pretty fast. There's a real sense of urgency about this cheese. The time is now. And I'm not sure if you've lost perspective as to what all the cheeses have looked like over this discussion. There are a lot of Alpine styles of cheeses. Whether you have some of these cheeses today or tomorrow or next week, that won't matter. But this cheese, it wants to be eaten now. And we ate this straight from the box on the Super Gold table. And I loved that I was breaking through several layers to quite a crumbly, chalky centre, which was exciting. Someone once said to me, the first bite is with the eye. And just looking at this cheese, I feel it's so kind of romantic and interesting. I could look at it for ages. Next of all, the smell. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure of smelling this before, you must make sure that before you leave the room, you put your nose up close. But if one was to close their eyes and smell without knowing, you might well think it was something entirely different. Look, it's quite pungent. It's a big flavour. Interestingly, I don't, whilst the big aroma is reflected in the milk, in the pate, in the cheese inside, I don't think it's as strong. It reminds me of a saying that someone said once, often the bark is bigger than the bite. And I love that about this cheese. This is the kind of cheese that I could put in front of my 3 children and they would say, oh no. But then when they tasted it, they would say, oh Mum, that's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. So instantly, as a cheese educator, you get that sense of satisfaction out of pushing someone out of their comfort zone, and then you get that reward. So anyone who actually breaks through the pungent aroma gets rewarded with a beautiful flavour. Again, despite how pungent it is, there's still somehow some kind of sweet, creamy milk flavour that is honoured. So you still get quite a lovely sweetness, which I wasn't expecting. I just assumed that it was going to be really salty. Sometimes I find washed rinds are over-salted. This one wasn't so. I found it quite sweet. I could actually go on and on and on. I won't, because I know that everyone's getting tired, but I want to say this cheese, honestly,
we all love passion.
This cheese deserves to take out the top prize. It is amazing.
Beh, se ci fosse un giudice, che può, entusiasmare la platea, Claudia è perfetta, perché non so se l'avete ascoltata, intanto guardava questo formaggio come se fosse un fidanzato praticamente, like a boyfriend, no? e infatti non a caso ha detto, la prima cosa che mi ha colpito la relationship, la relazione con questo formaggio è proprio l'occhio, l'estetica, dall'esterno. E mi è piaciuta anche un'altra definizione che ha dato di questo formaggio, che è un formaggio romantico in qualche modo, cioè come se avessero trasportasse una grande passione. Però i tuoi bambini poi, your children will eat or not? Yes. Yes, so anche per i bambini, quindi come un qualcosa che poi si scopre piano piano, momento dopo momento.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Well done. Very passionate. Obviously, a little bit of Rollon's just rubbed off on you there, Claudia, sitting next to him, because you could see how much and how passionately she felt about that cheese. Will our judges agree with them? Judges, please vote on Claudia's cheese now. 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6, 4, 3, 4. Well, Patrick, it worked for you. Nice to see that.
I love these Ipois style cheeses. They're like psychedelic cheeses. You know, when you eat an oyster or do a shot of tequila, and it takes you. I didn't give it full. I gave it a 6. I think it was just a touch over salted for me, just a little bit. I love that texture though, where you've got that really silky, gooey paste, but it still had a bit of crumble in the middle. I love that contrast. So a really, really, really good example, but just a little bit less salt and I would have given it 7, but terrific, loved it.
Susie, how did that work for you?
Again, I think that cheese was really wow. The texture for me was absolutely incredible, just that gooiness and silkiness. For me, sadly, it was just a little bit too salty. Although there were some lovely complex flavors that lingered, the saltiness just dominated too much. But it was very good.
2 cheeses to go. That's it. Then we're going to find out number 1 cheese in the world. Will it be a Norwegian cheese? Will it be taking over from a Norwegian cheese? We shall find out. Charlie.
I'm being encouraged by the team, this expert cheesemongers behind the curtains, for them to smell this, because this is a cheese that if it sits out too long, it can lose that kind of bright shine. So they've cracked open it, and we're going to pass that around. If you could just stick your nose in that and pass it on, you'll see the freshness. And it's strange to think of a Parmigiano Reggiano as being fresh, but there is that moment when you first crack open a cheese, whether it's a Parmesan or a cheddar, where that it just lifts into your face and feel like a wet face cloth just enveloping you, which is really beautiful. And I think you can see from the judges they're getting that wow moment. Parmigiano Reggiano, there's no hiding what this is. It says on the rind. It's one of those cheeses we ubiquitously take for granted, and yet some of the examples are brutally interesting and fascinating, with lots of really good flavors coming out alongside that sort of sweet, savory umami thing that you get from really good Parmesan.
Okay, well, we already know it's an Italian cheese. I'm not sure if Kathy's having to do with this, because all the judges are smelling the cheese, which gives it from a great big piece from the Weald. Come on, wowers. Penultimate cheese, Kathy.
Hi, everyone. And for the judges, I'm just inviting you to cleanse your palate, because we've had a lot of cheese and we just had a very heavy cream cheese, meaning that's lingering. So please cleanse your palate. And this was cut a bit. So thank you, Charlie, for inviting everyone to get the aromatics of this Parmigiano Reggiano. Classic cheese. And this cheese is... it whispered to me at first, and then it called me back. So the personality of the cheese came through. What I love about this cheese is that it has a maturity to it. This cheese was aged minimally 24 months. For me, the character begins to shine within that time period at 12 months, which you can sell for Parmigiano Reggiano. It is a baby. This cheese is a teenager that is coming into its own. It will speak to you. It will share with you. It has this wonderful fruit note to it, which I really adore in Parmigiano Reggiano. And then it has a very lovely little bit of spice finish to it. It had a nice moisture, which our friend from Italy is talking about the technical quality to make a good Parmigiano Reggiano. You must have the curd exactly right to last this age, to be able to keep the moisture in, to be able to keep those flavors and keep talking. And I think for me, this cheese really reflected that. It reflected the region. It reflected everything that this 1,000-year-old product that is raw milk can bring. So I appreciate you taking time to cleanse your palate to be able to do that, because many people say, oh, it's just Parmigiano Reggiano. And I say, oh, it's just Parmigiano Reggiano. So we love it.
From the heart. That was from the heart, Angela. Kathy's got a big heart. There you go.
No, I don't want to make it. No, ma è molto interessante perché dice finalmente c'è un parmigiano reggiano che ha una personalità in qualche modo, e mi piace la definizione di un teenager, no? Cioè di un parmigiano reggiano che ha la possibilità, comincia a parlare, a dialogare con tutta una sua caratteristica e personalità e ha la possibilità di proseguire. Gli accenti, ha posto due accenti, uno sul sapore molto fruttato, ma anche su un finale spicy, no? A little bit spicy, cioè quindi con una duplice anima. Beh, io sono molto orgogliosa, I'm very proud.
Good, that's nice, Angela.
And you know that.
I know, we're nearly there. So it's the last but one cheese. So this is the time whether Kathy has won us over. That was from the heart, and she knows a lot about cheese, and she loves that. Okay, judges, will you agree with Kathy? Here we go. Will you please vote now on a Parmigiano Reggiano? 6, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7.
Yeah. It's not the time to start talking about tariffs into America, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you, Nigel. And around the world, for the football, around the world for the football, Italian is the best. And this evening, for the cheeses, is the best. Really. Thank you so much, because this Parmigiano Reggiano, thank you, Katie, is really, really fantastic. It's everything. It's Marconmini.
Sono molto emozionato perché questo è l'espressione dei nostri allevamenti che si trasformano poi in un formaggio così, a prescindere che io sono italiano. Io trovo questo formaggio di un equilibrio incredibile. Non ha note sgradevoli, non ha note amare, c'è una bella percentuale di grassi. È un formaggio completo. E adesso io non ricordo quanto how many years?
24, 29. 24, 29.
Ok. E quindi lo trovo veramente un formaggio molto, molto particolare e molto buono. Per me è facile dire che il parmigiano è buono, perché essendo italiano...
Beh, forse no però Alberto, forse no, proprio perché siamo italiani, siamo abituati ai sapori, a certi sapori, quindi non è così facile.
Non è così facile. Io questa mattina, per esempio, questo formaggio l'avevo degustato, l'avevo trovato veramente molto, molto buono.
Effettivamente molto bilanciato.
Grazie.
Io però non sono italiana e l'ho trovato veramente meraviglioso. Comunque non c'entra nulla. This is a cheese that really, when you are looking for the ultimate Parmesan, you wish that you could find it every time that you're looking for it. And this is really one of those that are a single one that shows itself, the beauty of when you are protecting the raw milk, when you are looking after the animals and doing everything the right way to make a fantastic cheese. And it was, thank you for that, Kathy.
There you go. Well done. I mean, that as championed by an American palate, absolutely. There was only 2 Italian judges on the panel, so don't read into that. But it was a great cheese, and that's quite apparent. We have one more cheese. This has happened before. When we were in Donostia, San Sebastian, Kraft Car came in. It was the last cheese of the 16, and he went on to become the #1 cheese in the world. So we have one more cheese here, a blue cheese. So Charlie, wow it in before I let Bruno sell his soul and everything else to make this cheese win. We'll see.
This is a cheese that, at first sight, reminds you of that northern Spanish cheese, the queso de Valdeón, because it's got a blue milk, a blue style wrapped in leaves. But a closer inspection, it clearly is not that cheese. It's not a mixed milk cheese, as the queso de Valdeón, with that goat's milk that gives it slightly grayer character, and the leaves have almost like it's a domada, you know, that Greek little rice wrapped in leaves. It's got that wet feel about it. So it is on its own. We don't know what its history is. It's absolutely fascinating. It's got a real moist character and texture when squeezing it. When we were out the back trying to portion this, we just gave up, which is why if you look at the way Jilly's handing it out now, it's on forks, little crumbles. It's really wet amongst your fingers, and it's got extraordinary character. If there's anything, because I think we know what's ahead at the moment, if there's anything that's gonna go for the title, that last run, I think this cheese has a chance.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say I'm sorry about my English, and I hope you understand what I say to explain this cheese. I'd like to say thank you to the Guide of Fine Food to put me here in this table with this 15 friends, cheese friends. And so, I'm sorry, but this is the champion cheese from 2019. For me, I found I chose a different cheese. I found a different sensation with this cheese. A balance, for me, a balance with sweety and spicy. And low salt. This is a really taste party. In Spanish or Portuguese. Ok. Bom, esse, sem dúvida, é um queijo que me chamou bastante atenção. É um queijo onde eu encontrei um equilíbrio que realmente integra uma sensação mais picante com uma sensação adocicada que não entendo de onde vem. Realmente é um queijo novo para mim, é uma sensação nova para mim e isso chamou realmente atenção. Quando eu provei ele foi wow.
Wow in any language is quite clear. Thank you very much, Bruno. So, they're going back for more. Could this be the one? They're all bloody good cheeses.
As we say in English, they're all bloody good cheeses, but this is a particularly bloody good cheese as well. And it's going to have to be a good cheese to beat the cheese that's just gone before it. Would you agree, Angela? This has got to be a bit special.
Sorry, ho un sacco di cose tra le mani, è una roba. Sì, è un formaggio. Io non sono una grandissima mangiatrice di blue cheese, però devo dire che infatti lui ha insistito, assaggia e aveva perfettamente ragione. No, mi ha colpito quello che ha detto Bruno perché è l'equilibrio, no? Il bilanciamento tra il dolce e lo spicy che smettila, stop, you will die at the end of this day, morirà, alla fine il colesterolo sarà alle stelle, sta mangiando formaggio da stamattina. Okay.
We should vote for this one. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's going to come down to Carlos. Just wants to have a quick look at it.
No, we're just smelling.
Okay, we're smelling. It's okay. We had a bit of a smell off before, didn't we, Kathy? So we'll allow that. Here we go. Judges are just. It's so important. This cheesemaker's life will change tonight. These are all brilliant cheeses to be in the top 16 out of the 84 Super Goals, but to be voted. When my friend Phil Stansfield won in 2010, he had to go and buy an extra 150 cows. It changed his life. He got people ringing from all around the world because they wanted his cheese. His was a Cornish blue. So just saying, Angela, someone's life will change in a minute when the cheesemaker is announced who made the winning cheese. It's important.
It's very important, but stanno anche molto, come dire, annusando, secondo me, perché è molto importante per loro e soprattutto perché anche, ribadiamo, anche il viaggio, il trasporto può modificare in qualche modo come dire, il tasting, no, del formaggio. Però secondo me c'è anche una certa tensione perché l'ultimo formaggio is the last one, and so, secondo me stanno decidendo in maniera più accurata. Bruno? Are you nervous? No? Yeah, you're okay.
This is the moment. We know what's in the lead at the moment. Will it be toppled? Here we go. Judges, for the final time this year, 2019, we're going to find out from this very vote which is number one cheese in the world. It's exciting. Please vote now. 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 3, 5, 7. Wow. Here we go. Jason, that worked for you.
Well done, Bruno.
Very proud.
I don't know how quick anyone's maths is. Was that enough? That's what we're asking. Everyone's watching the screen. Someone's cricking their neck.
Talk about race to the line. That was, that's a sensational cheese. Quite unlike anything else that we've had. It was perfect in every way. I couldn't find any fault with it, honestly. But there's flavour notes in there that, transcend cheese. And I think that's what really makes it stand out for me. There's leathery notes in there, dried fruit in there, and a whole myriad of flavor.
There's innovation in there, isn't there?
Really is.
It's really taken cheese in a new direction.
Yeah.
And that moisture was so intense, which had so many echoes of cheeses you do know. Like there's that wet Roquefort, which is delicious. That push against the top palate that breaks into that. It's almost foie gras kind of moment.
Fudgy, and yet it melts in the mouth.
Yeah.
But it's wet, it's moist, but it really holds itself together. It's coherent. So
which gives us, before we find out, that classic moment of traditional cheese against, it feels like a new cheese. It's modernity versus sort of ancient tradition, 1,000-year-old cheese that's been against a 10-year-old cheese possibly. So it's really on a knife edge in that sense.
It's a tough one to call, and that Parmesan that Kathy selected was just mind blowing, and. It's that.
Oh no!
Wow, 100.
No!
How fitting is that? That's so fitting because
that is fitting, isn't it? I mean, we've got such a response from the judges on two awesome cheeses, and it feels like the wisdom of crowds.
Okay, so we have two cheeses on 100 points. It's an exact draw. It's a tie. It comes down to the chairman of judges casting vote. I am the chairman of judges. Yeah, I have tasted all of the cheeses so far, so I'm now going to retaste the two cheeses, the blue we just had, and the Parmigiano Reggiano. Bearing in mind, I'm married to a Sicilian anyway. I don't want you to think about some bias one way or the other. This is a complete, but I'm going to retaste both of those, and then we will find out. We're not going to have a tie. We're going to have a first and second, and then we will find out which is the number one cheese in the world. And let's see how quickly I get out of the room one way or the other. But it's very exciting. You know, Angela, this is fantastic. So I'm going to taste this, yeah.
Sono spaventata che tu debba assaggiare. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. You explain what I'm going to do in Italian now.
Sì, ora stai per provare i due formaggi, ma l'hanno capito, they understand, they understood, yes, just no, but it's, è chiaro, tu sei sicuro, vuoi una sedia, do you need a chair, something, no. More personality, con più personalità, dai, ok. Beautiful cheese, cioè... Beautiful, bello.
So what do we think, guys? Should he go for the Italian or the mystery leafy cheese?
Are you ready? Sei pronto?
He decided. Have the gears whirred in the brain?
It's two beautiful, excellent cheeses, both of them. The Parmigiano, just fantastic nose. It beckons you on. It's really enticing. It's very sensuous, and then it delivers lots of layers of flavor.
Due fantastici formaggi con un sapore fantastico, soprattutto il parmigiano, ma...
Yeah.
But?
No, I'm saying not but. There's no but. I'm saying and.
And?
The cow's milk.
I was afraid that
The cow's milk blue cheese, beautifully wrapped, leaf wrapped as well. Very unusual, right balance of salt, beautiful melt in the mouth. Long lingering finish, two beautiful cheeses. But for the risk of ever being able to come back to Italy again,
yeah, you know.
on this occasion, I'm going to go for the cow's milk blue cheese wrapped in the
Hey!
There you go.
Go away.
It's a beautiful cheese. It's a lovely complex cheese. And I love it.
There had to
Thank
be
you
a
so
winner.
very much. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
You're not happy.
I apologise to all the Italian cheesemakers, but I just thought the other cheese was very, very remarkable and like something I'd never tried before. So there you go.
You do realise you're going to need security.
Security, I need a large, yeah. There you go. It's been brilliant. What a fantastic competition. We're going to find out and tell you exactly what those two cheeses were, who made them, and then we will give you that information. But it's been a joy. It's been a really special day.
Sì, è stato un bellissimo giorno, ma intanto ci hai fatto perdere, cioè ho capito, grazie, meravigliosa l'Italia, va bene. No, sto scherzando. Ok, adesso che cosa, what happened now?
Okay, we're going to find out, get the names of those particular cheeses up.
Che sapete che non ci sono, scusami, sapete che non abbiamo i nomi e le provenienze dei formaggi, sappiamo solo vagamente. Adesso sapremo a chi appartiene, who?
Yeah, which is, and also I want to thank our judges so very much. They've been absolutely, all of the judges, all 260, but today on our super jury, Peter, Bruno, Claudia, Roland, Alberto, Kathleen, thank you very much, Jason, Susie, of course, Carmen, Carlos again. A few years ago we lost him. He turned up for the World Cheese Awards in London. He had his appendix burst on the plane. He went to hospital. He never went to the World Cheese Awards. He then flew home again. So it's great to see you looking so well. Patrick, Kathy, Mr. Moo, of course, and Mr. Moo's son, finest son around on the top table. Augusto, thank you so very much. Nick, and of course, the very fine Catherine as well, the Viking at the end of the table. Okay, brilliant. Here they go. Do we know? Yeah. Okay, now the winner of the World Cheese Awards 2019 is Road Creamy USA. Organic blue cheese, there you go. Wow.
USA.
Wow. A brilliant cheesemaker, great cheese. And who made it?
Ciao.
And the Parmigiano Latterino Santo Stefano was the... Yeah, okay.
Latteria Santo Stefano per il parmigiano.
Sì.
Ok,
Okay, second.
niente.
Yes. Wow. Kathy's on the phone. She's ringing America now, but we're going to interview her as well. Kathy. Kathy, you're on the phone to them now. We've got the microphone. You can tell them over the phone on the microphone. No, we'll just interview you anyway. Just tell them, leave the voice there.
Hi, David. We're in Bergamo, and we would like to congratulate you on winning the World Cheese Awards.
Non lo so ancora.
Congratulations, David. I know.
And yeah, it's gone to voicemail. So tell us a little bit about the creamery, about the company, and everything you want. Yours your moment, Kathy.
Okay. So this blue cheese, cheese from the United States, from Oregon. And this is a single herd that provides this cheese and this milk. It's organic. It's wrapped in organic. Leaves of the Carpenter Valley in Oregon, and it's soaked in pear spirits from the same valley. It has very creamy texture. This cheese is only harvested with milk from the fall equinox. It's aged 1 year, and then it is wrapped and delivered on the release of the equinox. So it's delicious. It's been United States champion 3 times, and very exciting for David and the Rogue Creamery team to win this award. Congratulations, David. And Roland's holding the cheese.
Secondo me è dentro. L'organizzazione, sì.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Kathy. What a big emotional day, and thank you for bearing with me. And people have said I was very honest there. Not easy. What a great day. I want to thank the Guild of Fine Food for putting on the World Cheese Awards, the Great Taste Awards. John and Torti, Farron, Bob and Linda, all our panel. I want to thank everyone in Bergamo for making us feel so welcome here and to FORME. You've made us feel it's been a real privilege to be here in Italy, and we've tasted some great cheeses. I'm Nigel Barden. I will be for the rest of my film. Angela, I want to thank you so much.
Hi, Nigel.
You come.
Yes.
Grazie, Emil. I want to say.
Grazie
a te. You've been great. Thank you. Tanti Baci. Hey, Charlie Turnbull. Thank you so very much, Charlie. Wherever you are, have a great evening. Great time. Kathy, well done. Well, Rogue Creamery, their blue cheese from Oregon. It's a River Blue. It's bloody good, and it was a very, very fine Parmigiano Reggiano. Grazie mille, e ciao, e buonasera. Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Benvenuti. Good morning and welcome to the 32nd World Cheese Awards. Charlie Turnbull, where are we? We are in Italy. 3,804 cheeses entered from 6 continents. That's 42 countries. We've got 260 judges.
They are as excited as we are. They're going to taste cheeses that they're familiar with, ones they've never seen before, things that are going to really excite their palates today. It's just extraordinary.
It is really an extended cheese family, because as much as these producers are competing, everybody cares about their craft and everybody wants to share their craft. So I think that's really important for the industry.
We can talk over cheese, we speak the same language as cheese language. That's fantastic, yeah.
I love this competition because it brings all the cheeses from the world in one room. So I feel like I've travelled the world without the jet lag.
You'll only get this at the World Cheese Awards.
Nowhere else.
How'd you coax a bear out of a tree? Come on, bear.
If you want to see your cheese on a world stage, the World Cheese Awards is the only place.
Absolutely fantastic. The flavour, it just stayed there. This is our gold, this is our first one.
It's just a beautiful cheese. We've been inundated with golds. I think we've given about 5 or 6 golds so far. It's matured in a wooden barrel and wrapped in hay. Very unique.
Wow. So every table, once they have finished all their cheeses, has to decide which is the best cheese on that table. So the 3 judges then sit there and look at all the golds they've given and said, this is the best, this is the most extraordinary cheese.
We're down to
with the final 84 super golds, and we're going to whittle those down to 16, and then our super jury will champion one of those each.
Goat's milk, twist, red wine, Caerphilly.
When I was tasting this cheese, I couldn't stop eating it. I knew that this was a winner.
4, 3, 6.
I find the texture of this cheese incredibly seductive.
I loved everything about that cheese.
6, 7, 6, 7.
We were blown away by the cheese.
Hey, come on, come on. Let's go.